Hello everybody, welcome to another Disney tie-in game, and we have Deji joining us for this one.
Oh, Hudson Soft!
Yes, this one. So, once upon a time,
Game
in a faraway land...
You tell me we were watching DC fandom.
It's far away, donkey.
They're making this public in November.
There was a selfish prince who refused shelter to an... Oh, now you speed up! An old woman.
Dickhead.
I actually really like the use of the glasses from the movie, and Enchantress, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, we all know this story, blah, blah, blah.
I don't.
You fucking dickhead, I will curse
As punishment, she turned the prince into a hideous beast and left him with a blooming rose.
Have you seen the movie, Dej?
I'm pretty sure he was being sarcastic.
Yeah.
Anyway, the prince was to remain a beast unless he could find true love before the rose withered.
And somewhere in between there was a hooded man with dreadlocks and a lot of spears, but we don't talk about him.
Okay, I will start with something positive. The presentation of this game is pretty fantastic.
Nice.
So there is that. I have something else to say about the gameplay, but that's we'll get there.
Well, I guess we can just see it.
Yeah. Let's just say this game is.
Pedro,
Yes, Jova.
how bad could it be?
Ha 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 ha. Fearing harm may befall the rose. The beast seeks Belle in the castle halls.
Oh,
Let's just say, Jova.
We're immediately starting here in the story, I see.
Also, sorta rhyming.
Let's just say, Jova, there may be something here that I have seen before.
Oh dear.
Oi,
wait,
Belle,
wait,
make
wait,
sure
wait.
the roast doesn't
Okay,
die.
so we're playing as the beast, and we're fighting spiders in the middle of the castle cellar. Yeah.
Are we seriously getting our butt kicked by spiders as the beast of all things?
Okay, don't get me wrong, the enemy selection in the Mega Drive game was weird, but at least they were more imposing enemies. In here, we're just fighting bugs.
Okay. Not only
Is this
that, but
Castlevania?
Hudson Soft mostly did stuff like Gambare Ninja Goemon, so there's that.
okay,
This is an old dusty castle. Of course there's gonna be loads of spiders to kick out.
Okay. Better question. Okay,
It's the
better
roll
question,
attack, too.
Why?
I know, but the charge-up animation looked very awkward.
Go on, Jova.
Why are we starting here story-wise? Like, we're
Yeah,
kind of at, like,
That's the first problem, Jova.
the
While
30-minute mark of the movie, I think, and we're playing this beast chasing after Belle, who somehow got ahead of us in the dungeon while trying to go for the rose. So I assume this is right after the Be Our Guest segment, but that wouldn't make sense because we started...
Alright.
in the dungeon, so what the hell's going on?
Be our guest.
But
Let me explain.
Okay, I don't know. Sorry, go on.
Let me explain. Here's the problem, Jova. Even though the cutscenes really look good, the idea to use the whole, glass windows thing from the movie is a pretty clever idea for cutscenes. Here's the problem. The cutscenes don't really transition into the levels themselves.
Wow.
It's weird. You can tell this game was made by Japanese people because they seem to.
Oh,
It seems to have been made in a very being made because like we got the rights to go and make this game.
Oh, God, that hit detection seems dickish, and that momentum seems so terrible.
Very good, Jova. Wow, I didn't even have to tell you anything about it. But
It's
yeah.
Hudson Soft is not really that much of a noob when it comes to making platforms.
No, they made the fucking Adventure Island games. And and Jackie Chan's action kung fu, while weird, was fun.
I mean, Bonk's a fun game too. I mean, sure, it's easy, but Lord knows it's fun.
Oh, trust me, Jova. We haven't even gotten to the worst part of the gameplay yet. We'll get to that.
Really?
Nope. Okay, so yeah, here's the first two problems are this. Yeah, like Jova said, the level order and the overall way the story is structured makes little to no sense. And let's just say it's hard to explain, but trust me, the controls are and the collision detection are, like Jova said.
What?
Yeah, the mirror shows you where you need to go, which makes sense. Don't get me wrong.
I mean, it's a neat story, gameplay story integration, I suppose, considering that's what the mirror kind
No,
of
sure. I don't mind that. Go on, Jova.
But, sorry, go on.
I mean, so it says something that it only took me less than 5 minutes to figure out what was wrong, and I'm not even playing the game.
Hold on, Joe, I'm gonna have to interrupt you here. Guess how you get this platform to move up?
You jump up and down.
Very good, Dribs! You roar at the platform for it to raise. As you're, I think I'm about to do it.
That's stupid.
I originally had the idea of trying to make you guys guess, which was why I'm not doing it yet. But Dwebs called it. So
Let me.
But Deji, don't you see? Even the animate
there you go.
are in fear of his roaring.
There you go.
Maybe. Okay. Maybe this is a reference to how...
Wait a minute. You roar a platform up and you get knocked backwards by a tiny little spider.
Yes.
Yes.
How did the beast manage to get around the castle at all in the movie?
Oh, it's simple. He had a map and a guide to remind him. Okay,
Also,
so I need to roar here in order to make a platform.
It's okay, Teo. If the platform is disappearing, just roar it into appearance.
Well, to be fair, I thought we were going to go for the Mega Man route and having disappearing time platforms, but no, thankfully it's not the case.
Don't you see, guys? This is how all of life's problems are solved, by roaring.
But
Yeah,
no, okay.
and this is already the main reason why I was foreshadowing that I still, for as flawed as it is, I prefer Roar the Beast over this one, because for as flawed as it is, it's not as obtuse, and trust me, it gets worse. Go on.
But no, okay, I don't really mind a game like this skipping part of a story where they probably could not adapt in a decent gameplay section. Sure, Bell's Quest was a neat surprise by managing to have like that point-and-click style kind of thing for the sections with Bell. But something that's more action plan like this, I get it. Starting, more as with the control of a beast from the moment where you get to know him in movie.
It's a reference to something from the movie, Dwebs.
As for the great vertical auto scroller,
Brilliant.
As for also, what are the books we are collecting?
Basically, if you collect enough, you'll get a password. But I'm using save state, so it doesn't matter.
Hey,
Sure, fair
Death,
enough.
Beast, question, why do you have a death trap like this in your own castle? You live here. Are you trying to kill yourself? Are you
Let me go through again, Drova. You have to go through the logic of the movie. If this might be ex-servant already mutating into these fire-spitting gargoyles.
Okay. I was trying to say it earlier, but now that you mention it, maybe this is a reference to the sequel, which did show just how messed up it is, how certain servants got turned into certain things.
Here's the problem, Jova. This movie came out years before the sequel was made. So.
And the beast.
So this movie, this
this
game. Sorry.
Considering how this game resembles a lot stuff like Castlevania and Contra, it doesn't really surprise me in hindsight that Hudson eventually got bought by Konami.
Basically, whereas the Mega Drive duology came out like 2 years after, this one actually was indeed coming out as a direct tie-in in the same time that the movie came out. So so it's pure coincidence. Also, here's another problem.
Yeah.
You don't see those spiders until you're right in the platform. As a result, you get... there you go, see? Look at that. How was I supposed to see that bat coming?
Again, just like in Castlevania.
Like...
Again, I just can't get over the fact that the beast literally turns to dust.
You're probably wondering...
Sparkles when he dies and just leaves behind his cape.
You're probably wondering, why did I fall from that platform? Right? Let's just say there's a problem with the controls in this game that I have yet to bring up. The moon jump works like this too.
The beast is channeling Knuckles.
Don't worry. I'm going to explain what's that problem with the controls when we get to a level where they become way more prominent. Trust me.
It's like he's doing the chicken dance.
You were saying earlier, Shiwa? Sorry.
Is the floor death or something?
No, sure. We roar in order to get the platforms to move, so clearly it is not deaf. Actually,
no. I think she was talking about the spikes. Like they must be deaf if they can't
No.
hear.
I mean, like if you fall in like this thing, are you dead or like?
Basically, because the floor keep rising. It's at that kind of level.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because of the spikes chasing you.
Also,
I can't
again,
even see the spikes chasing you.
I have to say it. Honestly, at this point,
Evil Lumiere? What?
What the hell?
Dark Lumiere for the negative version.
Also, where were you during the fight with Gaston and his goons? A literal living flamethrower would have come in handy, sir.
Also, I think at this point it might be a good point for me to mention it. I'm sorry, but the music is really not fitting.
No, the music in this game is terrible.
This is Castlevania. Come on.
Even trust me, Teo. Even when they do have remixes from the music of the movie, the remixes are not as good as from War of the Beast and Bell's Quest.
And look, I don't want to be too merciless on this, because for example, Kingdom Hearts 2 managed to come up with very good music to replace, any original tracks when it came to having the
I love the tracks in that game,
for example.
Yeah.
So there, it's just a matter of they didn't even try. They did clearly try.
Which again is weird.
What they come up with is really not fitting.
Which again is weird. This is Hudson Soft. They made the Adventure Island games, and for the record, and Jackie Chan's Ancient Kung Fu also had really good music.
I actually want to know if there are key people who might be recognizable who worked on this.
What was the time difference between that?
I want to tell you guys something. So how do I get up now? I roar and the bats become frozen platforms.
Oh, it's basically
of course.
Metroid. It's like using the freeze ray on Metroid.
Beautiful.
I know this being frozen in fear, but that's ridiculous.
Notice that problem that I'm having jumping on it. Again, I'll explain more when we get to the library level. Trust me.
It's not just a matter of precise timing, but you have to be fast too.
Trust me, Teo. You're not even getting half of it. Trust me. I'll get more into it when it becomes more prevalent. Go on, Jova. Yes.
Also, this enemy placement is dickish, to say the least. Jesus
Christ!
Why you attacked my furniture?
Seriously, this game is definitely making me.
Don't you see, Deji? This is the beast psyche, and the blood of a castle is taking control of the
So, guys, did I tell you or did I tell you? Basically, audience, I've been kind of hyping up how bad this game is behind the scenes.
I think I figured it out.
What?
Go on.
I figured it out. You know the
Fuck! Sorry, go on.
Anyway, before I get deafened by Pedro again, you know the song "Be Our Guest"?
Yes.
Maybe we heard it wrong the whole time. It wasn't "Be Our Guest," it was "Be a Ghast," as in "Be a Ghast Beast, or we'll burn you to death with our candle."
Well, there you go then.
Yes. See, I told you. I finally figured it out. This whole movie and that song was a lie all these years.
Also, I'm curious.
On the 30th anniversary, it was all a lie.
Also, I'm curious, Pedro. Why are there many different type of media jumping in the cheat menu?
That's because too I got this cheat table straight from GameHacking.org. So there's I just took all of the cheats and just put them there, because it was just easier to just download the entire cheat.
I can imagine, but I'm just curious by the fact that there exist multiple versions.
Well, let me explain too. As someone who uses these kind of cheats all the time, I can tell you the difference. Jump in midair means you press you can jump in midair, meaning as long as you keep pressing the A button over and over, you can constantly jump up and up and up and up and up. Moon jump is when you hold the jump button and the character just keeps jumping eternally until you let go of the button. That's how it works.
Several variants of each one though, like 0 through 5.
Oh, that's because each of those repetitions is a line, because the code is 5 lines long. So I have, which is why it says 1 of 5, 2 of 5, 3 of 5, and blah 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 blah. What was I saying? Yeah, that's seriously, playing this game suddenly makes me appreciate Roar the Beast more, to be honest with you.
Even Bell's Quest with that final horse level.
Well, I actually like Bell's Quest more than Roar the Beast, honestly.
Well, you told us, though, you hated the ending of Bell's Quest more.
Oh, I did. That level, definitely. That final level can fucking die in a car. Those 2 final levels, indeed, can die in a car fire. That being said, I still had more fun overall.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I do get. From what I've seen so far, doesn't work. The level design, is horrendous. The hit detection is beyond unfair. The enemy placement is dickish beyond belief. The music is not really enticing to listen to so far. And yeah, even the logistics aren't really that fun. Yes, roaring to move the platforms. That totally makes sense. Hey, what are you doing here? Get back into Fantasia.
It's unintuitive. It comes across, what Jova said. It comes across as just like an unnecessary step. Like, why not just have the platforms move on their own? Like, it just feels like busy work. There's literally no need to add in that extra step of having to roar to get the platform to move.
Or at the very least, to make it more conventional, like hitting a lever. You know.
Let me put it like this. If roaring affected the platforms, maybe have it be that roaring causes them to break and that helps you get through something. Like, that at least makes more sense than, well, getting them to move up and down unless they're sentient, and nothing has suggested that they are.
I will say this, as another positive thing I will say, every level is a time limit, which I've disabled for cheats. The time limit is represented by the rose losing petals. That's a fantastic way of implementing a timer in this game, actually. So, again, the best thing about this game is the presentation, although the graphics themselves are... I don't know, like...
the sprite work could be better, I argue, especially some of the animations, like I said, are very weird. The background stuff is actually pretty good so far, again, recapturing the atmosphere of the movie.
I disagree, but go on, Jova.
I'd argue, given the time this game was made, the sprite work is actually pretty good.
Okay, question. What year, remember the movie was made? 1992?
1991. 1991.
Oh, this game apparently came out in 1994, actually.
Oh, really? Huh. I thought it was really look closer, actually. Oh, well.
Okay, I mean, unless there was another one that escapes me, but probably not. Let me see, just to be sure.
Let me, see, my issue with that is that I think Roar the Beast did a better job of replicating the hand-drawn look of the movie, whereas this...
I can agree with that.
I think I should issue a bit of a correction.
Hold on. Let Pedro finish first.
I felt like the sprite of Beast in Roar the Beast was, like, color-wise in particular, looked a lot more faithful to how he looks in the...
What the hell? Now knights are coming out of
from
here?
From
the painting. Like...
That's not how Beast's castle worked. And
I guess Kingdom Hearts 2 really took his pressure from this when it came to making the castle haunted with the Heartless. So.
As for Hudson Soft did publish the game.
Yeah, I was checking. Instead, it was made by Probe Software.
Was Probe Software, the people who would go on to make such classics as the Batman Forever and Batman and Robin videos.
It's a shame too, because they actually did make some really good Genesis Mortal Kombat ports.
How does this work? Why are the lamps, the candles like this?
In the foreground?
Yes.
It's annoying, isn't it?
Oh,
yeah.
God.
Look at that.
Okay. I get it, you know.
Oh yeah, I remember that part of Beauty and the Beast, where there was a whole room full of candles and spikes, and then the next chapter read the Beast that appeared to Belle for their daily dinner together. The Beast's feet poked with holes, as he told Belle, by the way, I had to walk for a bit of spikes to get it.
But yeah, let me...
Is there a dash button?
No. Well, the Beast's normal running speed in this game is pretty fast anyway, so I'm not bothered by that, actually, to be fair.
But that explains also why IMDb results only in Western, dev team members when it comes to this game. I was like, wait, Hudson Soft is a Japanese company. Why are there Western people around this? And yeah, it's because it's Pro Software.
Well, Hudson Soft did have an American branch.
Let me see. I'm checking if there's someone that has done something else. But apparently the person behind the sprite artistry, Lloyd Chidsey, apparently was one of the many animators of The Thief and the Cobbler, apparently.
Huh. Interesting.
Let me see. Considering how many people that will be involved, I'm not too surprised that, random people got tangled like that. Let me see.
But yeah, my thing with the overall art direction of this game is that even when we get to the snowball minigame thing, when something is there, from something there. Sorry. I feel like the more muted color for the Beast doesn't work as well as Roar of the Beast. I think Roar of the Beast did a better job in replicating how the Beast looks in the movie, personally.
So Roar of the Beast, that came out after this game, correct?
It was 2 years. I think before, actually. Now that I may do the math. The point is, they came out after the movie. If that's what you want to know.
No. I was asking in correlation to this game. Okay, so what year did Roar of the Beast and Belle's Quest come out?
Sometime the same year. I think 1993, if I remember correctly. Taylor's checking. So hold on.
Yeah. Give me a second.
But yeah, I feel like the colors are a bit too dark for them. And yes, I understand that there's also some need for some darker shades for certain parts of the movie. Don't get me wrong. It's just that the game looks like this all the time, and I feel like that's not really the right way to go about it. Go on.
If I may, also. So I think the reason for the candles being in the foreground like that is to give a sense of 3D, because look at how they move with the camera and whatnot. It's to feel like you're actually there, bobbing your head, watching and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, that sort of design philosophy is an interesting one, but it has its flaws.
The twin games that we covered previously came out both of them in 1993, so a year before this.
Huh.
There was actually instead an NES game, also done in 1994.
I haven't done that one yet.
Wait. Are we doing with a boss fight now?
Yes, we're fighting a gargoyle. That's the first boss.
Of course.
Oh man, Goliath! Oh no!
Apparently, it's probably just a downgraded port of this one because it came out only in Europe.
So how are you supposed to deal with this guy if you have to face him while facing him in the front, but him passing through you will of course hurt you? I mean,
basically, from what I was able to check, Jova, you have to get hurt in order to hit this thing. That's what it seems like, because I'm trying to see where he comes from, but there's no way of knowing where he comes. You're probably asking, maybe there's some kind
of... There's a drop shadow.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
actually.
on the bottom.
Oh, you're right, actually.
Yeah,
it's not well presented, but still.
Yeah.
There's a drop shadow. Yeah. Again, what I wonder is
it's kind of hard. You see, it's kind of hard to notice it in the middle of the spikes because the spikes also have shadows in them. You know. Go on.
I suppose maybe the idea is that you're supposed to hit him from behind, I guess, to avoid getting hurt by him.
Can you roar at it to freeze it?
That's a good point. I actually don't think I tried that. Maybe it is.
Oh shoot!
See,
that's probably exactly how it's done.
I guess that's what I get for not reading the instruction manual. Go on, Teo. Yes.
Wait. You know what? Come to think of it, maybe this game should have been called Roar of the Beast, since Beast Roar is actually used as a game mechanic here.
Probably. Yes, Teo.
Go on, Teo.
Oh, sorry. No, I wanted to know if, because I didn't notice in the HUD, so probably it's not there, but does using the roar consumes like a special bar or something?
No. Not that I can see anyway.
So it might probably be the mechanic. Even the kids games of the NES era did not usually tended to not soft lock you for these kind of things. So, okay. Mega Man 2 kind of did, you actually screwed yourself up, but...
Wily Castle.
Yeah. No, specifically, the boss requires the crush bomber, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, the one people say 2 is the best. I'm like, nope, that
well done, dear.
It's more the one that, established many canons of the formula.
Anyway.
Finally, another... So Beast roars at Belle, and Belle runs away.
They're replicating the West Wing scene, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Does Belle question the fact that there's a stained glass window that represents the two of them in the background?
Pay no attention to the window.
Okay, I can potentially believe the stained glass windows.
In the dark of night, prowl packs of wolves as Beast follows Belle into the woods.
This is definitely one of those cases where you definitely need to see the movie too. Well, okay, I guess you can understand this game's plot all on its own, but like...
Most tie-in games of this time were basically just... Clearly were made with the intention of people... you've seen the movie, basically. Even the best ones, like the Aladdin game. Although the Aladdin game was originally, the Mega Drive Aladdin game was originally going to have more elaborate cutscenes. It's just that they had to delete those because they didn't have time to do everything, obviously. So
I feel like of these games, Lion King probably had the best way of integrating its story into it while feeling coherent on its own.
Yeah, definitely. Unlike Aladdin, Westwood had a much better, a much more well-structured development cycle. So.
Definitely. And hey, from what we've seen of those behind-the-scenes features, yeah, the game was heavily tied into the movie to the point where I think the game was announced at the same convention as the movie.
It was.
Jeffrey Katzenberg brought on that baby lion cub.
Well, that's the main thing, Joe. But the Aladdin game was actually the highest-selling third-party game on the Mega Drive. So obviously, Disney would, partner up again with Virgin for Lion King and even proudly announce it at their own thingy. So, yeah. So just like the Into the Woods level from War of the Beast, we're trying to find Belle. I saw some invincibility, which is nice, I guess.
Hey guys, look! You can see our breath in the cold. That's
It's not CGI'd.
Wow, Pedro's right. It is the third best-selling game on the.
Well, you have to understand that back in the day, it was marketed immensely and pushed a lot, and combined with the fact that it was an awesome game, word of mouth spread, and people just combined also with the fact that Aladdin was an incredibly successful movie at the time. Like it was literally a case of all the stars aligning perfectly for that game to succeed. Basically,
I'm curious. What's
back again with the Lion King one? Apparently.
In case you're wondering what number one is, it's Sonic 1, but that's because it was bundled.
Well, no, I was
Genesis
asking what was the third-party game sold on the system.
The first third-party game.
Oh.
Well, I know that Last Battle was one of them because it came out in 1989. It was one of the launch games in the West, even. I don't remember if it was a launch game in Japan as well. I'll have to look it up. I don't know, but I know that Last Battle and World Cup Italia 90 were two of them. And Super Hang-On as well. Super Hang-On, I think, was the port of Yu Suzuki's Super Hang-On was probably also one of the launch games, if I remember correctly. But I'll have to look it up. Yes, Clips?
Dang it, Wikipedia has an alphabetical order.
I was just saying, we're really learning about stuff today, like the really obscure knowledge of what was the first third-party game on the Mega Drive.
Well, that's the thing, is I actually got back in the day. I actually did get a Mega Drive that had 4 games in it: Sonic 1, World Cup Italia 90, Last Battle. Hence why I know that game. And Super Hang-On, which is also the game that made me a Yu Suzuki fan as well.
Ah, so I see you're using the mighty number 9 tactic of skipping the level below.
It's because, see, here's the thing about this level. This level goes on for in fact, this is kind of the same problem as in War of the Beast's version of this part, actually. The level goes on for way too fucking long. Like there's like 3 sections of this level alone, and they go on forever. And as Jova even said by another cutscene finally. Yeah, the levels in this game go on for way longer than they need to. It gets to a point where you get tired of these levels. Trust me, like it gets to combined with the fact that as you can see, the range of attack on Beast is not that great. Combined with the fact that the wolves can lunge at you. Like, you're not really... You're kind of in
that bit at the end of the music track just then.
It's kind of... You're kind of... No, it's the jingle for that little dust thingy that counts as the exit of the level, Dibs. It's a sound effect.
Apparently, it's Tetris?
Makes sense.
Makes sense. The Tetris was Tetris was a big sensation at the time.
Also, in the meantime, I found the one person in our dev team who has done something interesting after this. Most of them did not really add much going on. Maybe the sound designer worked a bit on, stuff like the Game Boy port of Mortal Kombat array, I guess. Especially because how horrible 4 is.
Oh wait, so now you have a level section. So now all of a sudden you have a level section that lasts like a minute tops.
Although, wait, didn't you use some cheats there?
I did use, that's why I said a minute tops.
But I found this from this person, Lee Ames, who worked on the background department for this game, actually. and apparently became responsible for the development of a couple, not a lot, but a couple of games like the Genesis port of Mortal Kombat, the first Mortal Kombat, mind you, 40 Wings, and the Predator PS2 game. Interesting.
Wow.
This Blizzard effect is terrible to
It is.
look at.
It is actually. I agree.
It doesn't even look like a Blizzard.
And it's causing screen flickering. Jesus
And
Christ.
that isn't helped by the invincibility frames right there. It's
For the
just-
record, that's not my footage. That's really how it comes across in the game.
I mean,
I believe you.
I get it. Okay. It's an interesting technique. Basically, patch up a few squares here and there to give off the illusion that snow is constantly falling and flickering it in. Fair enough, fine. That's nice to look at for maybe a minute or so. Any more, it just becomes an eyesore.
It's kind of like.
I also wonder if it caused actually less problems on a old old TV model.
Yeah, I'm guessing. Yeah. I'm guessing it's one of those effects that back in the day when you were playing this in a CRT, it wasn't as noticeable. But now that with emulators and we can see the pixels exactly as they were made, all in glorious, proper quality. It becomes much there were a lot of games, like it's kind of like with the pre-rendered backgrounds in the PS1 Final Fantasy games. If you try to look at those backgrounds now, yeah, they don't look that great, but back in the day on a CRT, they looked amazing because they were made with CRTs in mind. You know.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine. Oh no, Super Wolf!
Yeah, well, to be fair, Bureau of the Beast did this too. Except this wolf, for some reason, is apparently a spirit wolf that disappears. What? Tail, we're gonna need a lot more hemp before we're through.
Okay.
This world is not even man. No, that doesn't work.
Okay, look. I get it, okay? You need to take some liberties with video games, but I don't know. Something about this game just feels a little insane, and yes, that is saying something in a magical world with magic, curses, and wizardry and all that.
To be honest,
especially because even in the movie and pretty much in the original story, the wolves were always viewed as like a neutral kind of party. Sure, they were assholes to literally anyone, you know.
Can we get a?
Go on, Waves.
I was just saying, can we at some point get like a what if of Beauty and the Beast? Like Gaston wins or something.
Waves,
okay.
Waves, the closest you.
It's okay, Shira, we're done.
The closest you got for that was in Kingdom Hearts Unchained X, and even then, the Heartless where Gaston summons kind of looks like an idiot.
But that's the thing, though. I'm talking about ones that aren't hated by Kingdom Hearts.
Anyway, you were saying, Tio?
No, it was nothing important. Don't
Okay.
worry. I can save it for the next part.
It's interesting all of you guys are already saying things like this, because what if I told you that I have yet to talk about the worst part of the gameplay of this game?
Honestly, I wouldn't.
Wait, it gets worse?
It does.
Honestly, at this point, I'm not surprised.
Is there a
Okay.
one-hit kill boss or something?
No,
No.
let's just say Shiroi.
If I had to hazard against an escort mission, we had to
No.
protect Belle.
No,
Oh,
Tail,
my
it's
God.
much more irritating than that. Why?
Really?
Let's just say, Tail, platforming in this game is a nightmare. As you guys probably already kind of saw some little foreshadowing of it with the bat and stuff, but let's just say in the library level is where this game rears its ugly colors. Alright, tune in for the second part, everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See ya.